Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning in Austin, Texas. You make yourself a coffee. You haven't set an alarm. You open your brokerage app, and while you were sleeping, your money sent you another paycheck. You didn't work for it. You didn't clock in. You didn't sit through a single meeting. Your portfolio did the work overnight and deposited cash directly into your account before you finished your first cup. That is the dream a lot of Americans are chasing right now. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how much you need invested to actually live off dividends forever. Meet Alex. He's 29. He works a 9-to-5 at a tech company in Seattle. Good salary, good benefits, and every Sunday night, the same low-grade dread creeps in before the week starts. Not because the job is terrible, because he knows that if he stops working tomorrow, the income stops with him. That's the trap most Americans live inside their entire careers, trading time for money indefinitely with no exit built in. Living off dividends is how you build the exit. And there is a tax loophole most regular corporate workers completely miss, one that makes dividend income one of the most powerful forms of financial freedom available to Americans specifically. It's called qualified dividends, and it changes the math completely.
Here is what most people don't know about dividends in the United States. When a company pays you a dividend, not all dividends are taxed equally. The IRS divides dividend income into two categories. Ordinary dividends, taxed as regular income, just like your paycheck. Whatever bracket you're in, that's the rate. Qualified dividends, taxed at dramatically lower rates. These are dividends paid by U.S. companies or qualifying foreign companies held for a minimum period, and the rates are 0%, 15%, and 20%, depending on your total income. Here's where it gets genuinely powerful. In 2026, if Alex is single and his total taxable income stays under approximately $47,025, meaning his dividend income plus any other income falls below that threshold, he pays 0% federal tax on qualified dividends. 0. Not 22% like his salary, not 24%. 0. If he's married filing jointly, that threshold doubles to approximately $94,050. For someone building toward financial freedom, this is not a footnote. This is the architecture of the entire strategy. If you structure your dividend income to stay inside the 0% qualified dividend bracket, the federal government is actively helping you retire. You keep every dollar the portfolio generates. This is why living off dividends in America, specifically, is one of the most tax-efficient forms of financial independence available anywhere in the developed world. So, how much does Alex actually need to make this real? That depends entirely on which version of freedom he's building toward. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, here's how annual spending actually breaks down for Americans at different lifestyle levels. Tier 1, lean living. $40,000 per year. This covers a modest one-bedroom apartment, groceries, a reliable used car, utilities, healthcare, and basic entertainment. Not lavish, not deprived. Lean, functional, free. This is the I have time and I have enough lifestyle. Many people in lower cost of living states, parts of Texas, the Midwest, the South, live comfortably on this number. Tier 2, comfortable. $75,000 per year. This is the BLS median household expenditure range for a comfortable American lifestyle. Two-bedroom home or apartment, reliable newer car, occasional travel, dining out regularly, full healthcare coverage, and some savings buffer. This is the lifestyle most Americans actually want. Not extravagant, but genuinely comfortable without financial stress. Tier 3. Fat or luxury, $120,000 per year. Premium urban living, regular travel, a nicer vehicle, private health insurance with no network restrictions, and discretionary spending that doesn't require planning. This is financial freedom without any visible ceiling on lifestyle. Alex looks at these three tiers and makes a decision that most people never make explicitly. Which lifestyle am I actually building toward? Because the answer to that question determines the entire investment target. And that math is what we're running next. The formula is straightforward. To live off dividends forever, you need your annual income requirement divided by your portfolio's dividend yield. We're using 3.5% as our target yield. This is deliberately conservative. It reflects a real, sustainable payout from a diversified dividend portfolio without chasing yield traps we'll discuss shortly. A 3.5% yield on a quality portfolio is achievable, realistic, and historically sustainable. Here's what the three tiers require. Lean living, $40,000 per year. $40,000 divided by 3.5% equals $1.14 million invested. Comfortable, $75,000 per year. $75,000 divided by 3.5% equals $2.14 million invested. Luxury, $120,000 per year. $120,000 divided by 3.5% equals $3.42 million invested. Now, before you close the tab, those numbers are the destination, not the starting point. We'll talk about the timeline later, but right now, understand this. Alex, at 29, has decades of compounding ahead of him. The question is not whether these numbers are reachable. The question is whether he builds a portfolio that actually generates them reliably. And that means knowing exactly what to own, and more importantly, what to avoid. Here's the most dangerous mistake dividend investors make. They see a 9% yield and think they found a shortcut. They chase the number, they buy the stock, and then 6 months later, the company cuts the dividend, the stock drops 30%, and they've lost both the income and the principal. This is called a yield trap, a high dividend yield that looks like income but is actually a signal that the market doesn't believe the payout is sustainable. Alex doesn't want yield traps. Alex wants cash flow that actually arrives reliably, year after year, with the principal growing over time. So here's the portfolio that actually delivers that. SCHD, Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. This is the gold standard for dividend investing in America right now. It holds 100 high-quality U.S. companies screened for dividend consistency, cash flow, and return on equity. Current yield, approximately 3.8%. Expense ratio, 0.06%. Companies like Coca-Cola, Home Depot, and Verizon. Reliable, diversified, low cost. VYM, Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. Broader exposure, over 400 companies. Current yield, approximately 2.8%. Less concentrated risk than owning individual names. Vanguard's near-zero fee structure means more of the yield stays in Alex's account. O, Realty Income Corporation. This is Alex's monthly income play. Realty Income is a real estate investment trust, a REIT, that has paid monthly dividends for over 25 consecutive years. It calls itself the Monthly Dividend Company. Current yield, approximately 5.5%. REITs are required by law to distribute at least 90% of taxable income to shareholders, which is why the yield is higher than standard equity dividends. The individual stock note. Individual dividend aristocrats, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, and Johnson & Johnson are fine as complements, but owning them individually concentrates your risk. A company can cut its dividend after 40 years. An ETF holding 100 companies cannot cut your income just because one company has a bad quarter. Diversification is not caution. It is the structure that makes the income reliable. Where you hold your dividend portfolio matters as much as what you hold. Alex has two primary account types to work with. The taxable brokerage account. This is where Alex holds dividends he plans to live on before retirement age. Income from a taxable account is accessible immediately, at any age, with no penalties. The qualified dividend tax advantage we discussed, the 0% rate under $47,025, applies directly here. For building toward early financial freedom, this is the primary vehicle. The Roth IRA and 401k. These accounts grow completely tax-free or tax-deferred. The catch, you generally cannot access them without penalty before age 59 and a half. But every dollar Alex invests in a Roth IRA today grows without ever being taxed, including dividends and capital gains inside the account. At 59 and a half, he can withdraw tax-free. The optimal structure for Alex is both in sequence. Max out the Roth IRA contribution first, $7,000 in 2026. Capture any employer 401k match. That's a guaranteed 50 to 100% return before the market does anything. Then build a taxable brokerage account aggressively using SCHD, VYM, and a slice of Realty Income. The taxable account funds early freedom. The Roth compounds in the background and becomes the foundation for the decades after 60. Here's the quiet threat that destroys fixed income strategies: inflation. If Alex builds a portfolio generating $40,000 per year today, and inflation runs at 3% annually, that $40,000 has the purchasing power of approximately $29,700 in 10 years. Same dollars, less life. This is why living off bond interest or fixed-rate instruments is a slowly tightening trap. The income stays flat, while the cost of everything around you rises. Dividend growth stocks solve this directly. The dividend aristocrats are S&P 500 companies that have increased their dividend every single year for at least 25 consecutive years. Coca-Cola has raised its dividend for over 60 consecutive years, Procter & Gamble for 68 years, Johnson & Johnson for over 60 years. These companies don't just pay you, they pay you more every year systematically, regardless of economic conditions, because their underlying businesses generate more cash over time. At a conservative 6% annual dividend growth rate, a portfolio generating $40,000 today generates approximately $71,600 in 10 years. Inflation at 3% means Alex's real purchasing power actually increased, not decreased. His income grew faster than the cost of living. This is the shield, not a fixed coupon, a growing income stream attached to real businesses that compound their earnings over time. Here's the mechanic that turns a modest starting portfolio into the numbers we calculated. While Alex is still working, still receiving a paycheck, still covering his expenses from his salary, every dividend his portfolio generates gets automatically reinvested, bought as new shares. More shares generate more dividends next quarter. Those dividends buy more shares. The cycle accelerates. This is called a dividend reinvestment plan, DRIP, and it is the most powerful compounding tool in the dividend investor's toolkit. Let's run the real math on what this looks like for Alex. Alex starts at 29 with $30,000 invested in SCHD. He contributes $1,000 per month and reinvests every dividend. At SCHD's historical total return of approximately 12% annually, combining price appreciation and dividends reinvested, here's what happens. By age 39, 10 years, his portfolio has grown to approximately $280,000. By age 45, 16 years, approximately $680,000. By age 50, 21 years, approximately $1.3 million. By age 55, the portfolio crosses $2.3 million. At 3.5% yield, that generates $80,500 per year in dividend income. At that point, Alex stops reinvesting. He starts living off the dividends. His Tuesday morning coffee scenario becomes real. The paycheck that arrives while he sleeps is not a fantasy. It's the mathematical output of a decision he made at 29. The close. Direct to viewer. The difference between Alex's path and the average American's path is not income. It is not luck. It is not even time. It is the decision to build a second income source that compounds while you work, so that one day you can choose whether to keep working or not. Right now, today, two things determine everything: what you own and whether you started. But here is the ultimate reality check. The numbers we walk through today are not for the lucky or the already wealthy.
SCHD's first share costs under $30. A Roth IRA contribution starts at whatever you can afford this month. The system doesn't require you to start big. It requires you to start. The 0% qualified dividend tax rate is not a secret. It is a feature of the U.S. tax code written into law. The question is whether you use it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Drop in the comments below. Which tier are you building toward? Lean at 40K, comfortable at 75K, or luxury at 120K? And what age are you starting from? I read every single comment. Hit subscribe for more wealth strategies built specifically for how the U.S. financial system actually works. And I'll see you in the next breakdown. Peace.